Hello, Yama-con. Welcome to the Demon Slayer Q&A panel. Just gonna give you a rundown of how this is gonna work for us today. We do have some questions that are your FAQ, your commonly asked questions. So the first half, we're gonna answer those questions for you. The second half, we are gonna open it up to audience questions. Please be sure that you don't ask them any questions that you wouldn't want to answer in front of a crowd this large, right? All right, so go ahead, start thinking up these questions. We are going to take a look at what we're going to be looking at. You can do better. Come on. Okay. They were loud enough. Now we can play the song. You don't have to know the words. Just say meow. Meow, 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 meow. You got it. Here we go. We've got Jack Aguilar, voice of Tanjiro, and Bryce Papenbrook, voice of Inosuke from Demon Slayer.
We were waiting for the beeps. As voice actors, we get beeps that tell us when to start. We're not used to a music cue.
Yeah, we missed the cue. Hello. Hello.
You know who they are already, but I'm going to let them tell you.
Cool. Hey, everybody. My name is Zach Aguilar. I'm a voice actor from Los Angeles. Some of the roles you might know me from are Tanjiro Kamado in Demon Slayer, Ether in Genshin Impact, Byleth in Fire Emblem Three Houses, Super Smash Bros., Genos in One Punch Man, Koichi in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, David Martinez in Cyberpunk Edge Runners, and yeah, a bunch of other stuff. Cool to be here with you guys.
And I'm Bryce Papenbrook. Thank you. You might know me as Eren Yeager in Attack on Titan, Kirito in Sword Art Online, Meliodas in Seven Deadly Sins, Rin Okumura in Blue Exorcist, and Inosuke Hashibira in Demon Slayer. Happy to be back at Yama.
Yeah, speaking of that, how are y'all enjoying your Yama-con so far? I know there's been some history.
Yeah, my first one, so it's been absolutely amazing. Everyone's been so sweet and just super nice. I didn't realize everything that was out here in Pigeon Forge, and I'm so bummed that I'm already leaving. I'm not even here tomorrow, unfortunately, so I'm already leaving very early tomorrow morning. But next time, I hope I have a chance to be invited back here so I can go and do more things out here.
Oh, yeah. You got to have that Dollywood day.
Yeah.
For sure. I love coming to this event. Actually, my family came with me, and they're at Dollywood right now. Highly recommend you check it out.
I want to go.
I know. I'm so jealous. I'm like, oh, okay, I see how it is. But yeah, I love it coming out to Pigeon Forge. I love coming out to Tennessee in general. I feel like every time I come to the state, it's just a great time. So yeah, thank you guys for requesting me enough for them to invite me back. I appreciate that.
All right, you have introduced yourself and told us some of your well-known voice roles. What is a voice role that, let's see here, how to phrase this, not one of your most well-known, one that you want to be better known?
Oh, that we feel might have gotten lost in the shuffle
Exactly.
or something?
It's like, I also did this. Did you know that? What's the TV tropes trivia tab for you?
I guess there's a handful of them for me. One that I really love that I think everyone should check out is a show called Blood Lad. Yeah, okay, a few people have seen it. I play a character called Staz. He's a vampire mob boss otaku. Yes.
Mood.
It's probably the closest I'll ever come to doing a Kamehameha. He's like, I'm gonna use a move from the most powerful fighter in the universe. Kamehameha! And gets kicked in the face. It's so good. Kind of got lost in the shuffle when Sailor Moon was released. So it was a number of years back, and it's worth a watch. It's really, really fun.
Zach, how about you?
Wow, yeah, Lost in the Shuffle. That's so interesting. I mean, I feel like some of the roles, like the franchise is really well known, but maybe people don't know that I played the character. Like for example, I got to work on Dragon Ball. I got to play Dr. Hedo, the new creator of the androids in Dragon Ball Superhero. So that was a lot of fun. I know I can't really think of anything else. Maybe if I thought of a video game role, if you guys haven't, there's this super cool game called Nier Replicant, and I got to play young Nier. So yeah, go check it out.
Awesome.
It's
Congratulations.
a very cool story.
Speaking of, of course, anime, video games, how did you get into voice acting?
Ooh, yeah, so, 13-year-old me, I loved Naruto. It's like, man, this is awesome. I loved Naruto, Death Note, yeah, Code Geass, Bleach. Like, I was watching all the shows, and I was like, man, this would be so cool to become a voice actor. So I started pursuing it. I asked my mom, I'm like, please, like, buy me a voice acting class. Like, I'll do anything. Like, just let me try this, please. And like I ended up getting like a $15 microphone off of I don't know where, but it sounded horrible. But yeah, I just started like pursuing it, and I ended up going on to going on to win a voice acting competition.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's fantastic. Where was that?
That was at Anime Expo in 2014.
All right.
What was the name of the competition?
Do
you remember?
Well, I don't know.
Stumped you on one.
No, was that through Adventures in Voice Acting or?
That's
maybe?
cool. I mean, I've seen that they've thrown a couple of those, and you like so underplayed how difficult it is to win one of those competitions. I know like a ridiculous amount of people try out, so to win that is not like, oh yeah, and just won this little competition.
Yeah.
At Anime Expo.
At Anime Expo, no big deal.
I was really nervous, actually. I remember I was shaking because they have a line of people, and as you get to the front of the line, that's when they hand you the script to really try to prove, like, as a voice actor, what we typically do for the most part is we get into the booth and we're cold reading. Like, we just get the script right there and then, and we have to perform. So they try to emulate that, I guess, for this competition. So I was not prepared for this. They gave me the script. I was like, okay, this is like the young hero character. Like, I can do this. And, like, I just went up there and I blacked out. I don't remember anything. I was so nervous. I had to stand in front of a microphone and you hold up your own script. And I just remember my hand, like, holding the script was like I couldn't even read the script because I was shaking so bad. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that competition sounds amazing because there's such a huge difference between doing a voice and voice acting because you have to do the voice and you have to act. Bryce?
Whichever voice actor you ask this question to always has a different answer. So mine's totally different. I did not win a competition. I was born into a family of actors. My dad was working on a show called Power Rangers, if you guys have seen that one. He was Rito Revolto, the skeleton dude, and a bunch of the monsters. And I used to love to go into work with him. They had like a bunch of the rubber monster suits, like lining the stairs up into the studio. And he was just so fun to watch. And at the end of one of his sessions, they needed a kid's voice. And he was like, "He's a kid, throw him in the booth." And that's how I started. Yeah, it's good times.
That's a good story.
Thank you. I never thought that would lead up to where I am today. I actually went to UCLA, studied political science and philosophy, thought I was gonna go to law school, and then I booked a job and booked another one and thought, this is a lot more fun than the law library. Let's give this a shot, and haven't looked back.
Yeah. Yeah, I used to be a science teacher, so,
There you go.
we all go our different ways. For Demon Slayer specifically, what was that audition process like?
Yeah, I guess pretty typical. They send you the sides. I auditioned for
Well,
Inosuke.
tell them what sides are.
Oh, yes. Sides are like a little snippet of what your character will say. Sometimes a picture of the character, sometimes a description. And sometimes they really know what they're looking for, and sometimes they don't. Like, I read a lot of stuff where it just says, kid, 16. Well, that could be anything. But for this particular audition, I read for Manjiro, or whatever his name is, and Inosuke. When I heard a sample of the Seiyu for Inosuke, it's Matsuoka-san, I had heard his voice a lot because he also plays Kirito. I connected to the character right away, gave it everything I could, and was so happy that that feral insaneness really came through.
I love that. And a healthy outlet for it as well.
Exactly. Yeah, it wasn't until I did something a little bit different in the audition, and even in the very first trailer for Demon Slayer, than we actually landed on for the character, because I discovered some tricks to help me kind of maintain the voice. And I'll teach them to you guys, because you should try them out. So the first thing I do when I go into the studio is I get in my car, sit in traffic, and then I try to make eye contact with other drivers and just laugh like Inosuke. Yeah, so just and they're stuck right next to me, and I watch them squirm to try to get away from me. So that's your first vocal warm-up, right? Then you get to the studio, okay? You find the coffee machine, and you press the wrong buttons, right? So what you want to do is get about a 1 ounce pour for a 6 ounce cup, like black sludge in the cup. Like so dark and disgusting that it makes you angry, right? So then you have this black cup of tar, go into the booth and you take a sip and you're just like, and that's Inosuke. It works real well.
I feel like you might have discovered Inosuke's actual morning routine.
Yes, that's it. That really is.
How about you, Jack?
What is my morning routine?
Yes, what is your morning routine? No, what is Tanjiro's morning routine?
So I wake up in a cold sweat from the screams of Inosuke in my nightmares, yelling different names that aren't Tanjiro, but they're definitely
the correct
close.
names.
And then you're driving into work and some guy's just staring at you laughing,
Yes, there's some guy just staring at me. Laughing maniacally in bumper-to-bumper traffic in Los Angeles. So I'm looking at this man for the next 2 hours as we slowly drive for 2 miles to get to work. Yeah, I mean, for the most part, I don't know, I go in, I try to think of Tanjiro as, obviously he's just a very selfless character. He's just a great role model and such a hero. So I always try to put that in my performance and my reads and think about the real reason why things are happening in the show and what he's ultimately fighting for, which is to, turn Nezuko back into a human.
Sure. How did your audition go for him?
Oh yeah, right. I had multiple auditions. It was pretty typical process. I think the casting director, beforehand, had given me a heads up, hey, I'm sending you some auditions or something, because I was in the studio working on another project that day, so she just wanted to remind me, or maybe she really wanted to hear my reads on, these characters. I sent in an audition for Tanjiro. I think I sent in one for Inosuke too, and Zenitsu, but I definitely didn't try too hard on the Inosuke one, because I was like, there is just no way I can get my voice to be this gravelly.
Well, if you don't like coffee,
Yeah.
You didn't know the trick.
I didn't know about the sludge. Next time.
I didn't know about the sludge. Beautiful.
But yeah, just auditioned for all 3, and then I got a call, I think a few weeks later, and they're like, yeah, do you want to come in and start recording the first episode for Tanjiro? And I'm like, sure. And yeah, rest is history.
See, I had to wait forever, because Inosuke really takes his time to show up. So we recorded that trailer, and then it was just radio silence for months. And like, I was so excited to start, and then nothing came. So I just listened to the opening theme song like 1,000 times, just reminding myself like, this is coming.
They do that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of, going in and recording your lines, what is your favorite line that you've recorded for these characters?
I'll let Bryce go first.
you know what's coming. We did an event in Salt Lake. It's been a couple months now. It seems like yesterday. Time is a weird thing. But we were sat right next to each other, and the staff came through and they said, we have a little counter. I'm like, please give it to Zach. So he counted how many times I screamed at him throughout the event, and we cleared 100 through the weekend. So my favorite line whenever I'm at an event with Zach is, Don Pachiro Kamaboko!
And
Yeah.
my favorite line is, help. I don't know. I think there's sometimes where I'm like, the name's Tanjiro Kamado. It's Tanjiro. And then at the end of the convention, I'm like, forget it. It's fine.
What are some parts of your character that you personally identify with? Any character traits?
Yeah, so I get cast as a lot of characters who have younger siblings, or like I have a lot of my characters have younger sisters for some reason, and they're always like, the nice older brothers, like always looking out for their younger sister. I have a confession to make. I'm an only child. So I don't know. I don't know where that happens, or who got that mixed up in casting, but yeah, like it works great. Maybe it's like if I did have a younger sibling, I would be a cool big brother. But yeah.
I mean, as an older sibling, you're probably better as an only child acting someone who is affectionate toward their younger sibling. How about you, Bryce?
Wow, how do I relate to Inosuke? I mean, it's always interesting. Like, I try to connect with my characters in some way, and it's that feeling when I drink that sludge that connects me directly to Inosuke. But I tend to play characters that have swords and that scream. So Inosuke fits right in there with the others. It's just a good time inside my head at all times.
Well, even the best of us have a tongue trip sometimes. What is your favorite outtake that you've recorded in this show, or any show if you've got a good story? But what's your favorite? Did not quite get it right, and I think this is a PG-13 panel, so we get one swear. You'll have to decide between yourselves who gets it.
I don't even remember for Demon Slayer, but I do remember that Bryce probably doesn't remember either, because we've had so many different random things in the booth. But there was one time I went in to record, and I was in the studio, and I was about to record some like serious line as Tanjiro, and like Inosuke just comes like blaring through my headphones, like so loud, and says something like, whatever it was really inappropriate. Like it probably shouldn't be repeated, but it was like the funniest thing ever. And I remember looking at the director's face, because we have like this like wall of glass. Like I can't hear the director unless he presses a special button on in the other room, and we're like looking at each other. And I looked over, and the director is just, he is laughing. Like Steve is like almost on the floor laughing, and it's because they didn't care. They didn't like bother to adjust like your volume. Like, you recorded this bomb for me.
Yes,
Like, that's what we call them. It's like a bomb in the booth. And I wish I could remember what it was, but I just remember it was like a bad word or something. Like, it was so bad. But
I've left bombs all over the show, by the way. They're just hidden in there just to surprise people. I love bloopers. I've done so many throughout the years. You can tell that we're having a really good time in these shows. In Demon Slayer, I left like a real life surprise for everyone. So in one of the studios, like you're in this very kind of dark, dim, soundproof room all alone. And they open the door, it's really heavy, and then they kind of like lock you in there. Like you're kind of stuck in this room. So on the back of the door, I had them print out the scariest looking real life Inosuke that we could find on the internet. So as they lock every actor in the room, he's just staring right at them. So I just left that on the back of the door. And you won't know until you shut yourself in the room, and then he's right there for your whole session.
That is so funny.
Yeah, I think that made me really happy,
Yeah.
just knowing that he was there staring at everyone.
Practical bombs.
Yes, yes, exactly.
Got you.
As far as like other bloopers, just go and Google Sword Art Online bloopers. Oh, they are dirty. You say these things just trying to make like the engineer and the director laugh, thinking like, no one will ever see this. Well, everyone saw it. They played it at Anime Expo in front of about 2,000 people, and I was laughing so hard I was crying. Literally the dirtiest things I could find on Urban Dictionary, that's what Kirito says.
That tracks.
Yeah. I guess one that is PG-13-ish. There's this one moment where Kirito answers the phone and Asuna's calling him, and then it cuts to Asuna and she's in a bath, and I'm like, so there's this button called FaceTime. Use it now. That one's in the highlight reel. Yeah, it's good.
So in the context of the show, if you personally could pick a Hashira breathing technique to master, which one would you pick?
So any breathing technique.
Fart breathing.
Is this canon?
Riz
It
breathing.
is now.
I don't know if I can top that.
Wow. Yeah, Riz breathing.
Those are solid. Those are really solid. Have you read the manga?
Sludge breathing.
Yeah, sludge breathing. That's what I'll take.
That's in the that's what Tanjiro uses in the last fart breathing. Yeah, it's the last volume of the manga. It's definitely I'm totally not
I can't
pulling
wait.
your leg.
I can't wait.
Yeah,
It's gonna be the best.
It's definitely real. He farts in Muzan's face and he keels over and dies, and that's like the ending of the show. It's awesome.
No spoilers. Come on.
Sorry. No
Manga
sorry.
spoilers. Sorry, everybody. Sorry.
I'm sorry. I just spoiled that for you guys. He like Hinokami Kagura's the fart, and it like blows up in his face.
That's dangerous. I
Yeah.
mean, you can light it on fire too. It's
Massive
gonna be
explosion.
wild.
Yeah.
You were not anticipating that
So,
breathing style when you wrote that question.
So let me tell everybody, I got back from Japan 2 days ago. I am on another time. I'm delirious right now. Dude, I don't even know. Like, where am I? What's happening? You know?
Yamacon, Tennessee.
I don't even.
Yeah.
I'm at Yamacon! Let's go.
And I'm well rested, so this is when I use my advantage to scream at him even more. We actually got to play the Demon Slayer video game before anyone else. And little tidbit about Zach, he's really good at video games. Like, it's ridiculous. So as we were playing, they matched us up. His character's way overpowered in the game. It's not even fair. I tried screaming at him to distract him and almost got him, but the screams weren't enough. Yeah.
I think that's canon too.
Yeah, I thought about breaking the controller, which would have been canon as well, but then I had a second thought. They would never let me touch one again.
Next thing you know, he's like eating the controller, just like tearing it apart.
Okay, if I don't see like streamer Inosuke fan art soon. All right, good to know.
Playing the old X station.
You know, I could see Inosuke sitting in like.
X Station 64.
I could just see Inosuke sitting in like a gaming chair and he has like a gaming like one of those headsets and like those really cheap little microphones.
But the microphone's the little green thing that his sister.
Oh yeah. But it's just like whenever Inosuke yells, you know, it's like the the worst distortion you've ever heard in your life. Like all sound like.
Are you swearing or are you dialing in on a modem?
Yeah.
It's just like those like the Xbox Live mics, from back in the day.
He like drops off a bunch of time because the muscle mice are powering his system, just running. Come on, mice! Keep it going here.
My frame rate is dropping.
Run faster!
I just want to see Inosuke like play through, rounds of like Halo or Call of Duty or something, or I want to see Inosuke drop into
Barbie
Apex.
Horse Adventure. All right, folks, we are going to open it up to audience questions now. Do I have a member of staff who is going to help me? Because I cannot quite see.
There is a microphone in the middle.
Yes, highest thin
Strategically
hand right
positioned.
here. Come on over to the middle.
Microphone.
All right, if you have a question, we're going to take as many as we can, but please take a line.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
First, I want to say that y'all are really cool, and I love you.
thank
And
you.
my question is, who is both of your, like, individually, which character from Demon Slayer is your favorite?
Ooh.
So which character from out the entire show is our favorite? Can we pick ourselves?
Yeah. Other than yourself. Other than yourself.
Other
Besides
than us.
yourself.
Other
Besides
than us.
yourself.
Actually, I started watching the show when I got the audition. I had heard really great things, and it was one of those experiences where I watched one episode, and then another, and then another, and then another, and then the sun came up, and I was like, what did I do? So I really like Tanjiro. He's like one of those characters that you want to win, and everything goes so bad all the time, and you just like cheer for him to push through it. And I think the way that you capture that character is just so cool. So I'm going with Manjiro.
Good choice.
Well, thank you. We're bestest friends, so I have to go with Inosuke. It's actually true. Inosuke is my favorite character. Watching, despite the trauma, of course, but like Inosuke is my favorite character. He's just so crazy and spontaneous, and it was so dumb because they were like trying to get back down the mansion after like the whole drum demon, like whenever that happened, episode like 12 or something, and I remember Inosuke was just in the background like hitting his head against a tree or something. And I think I heard some of Bryce's reaction.
Wait, hitting
like,
his own head against a
oh,
tree?
yeah, just like,
okay.
just like hitting his head. Like just headbutting a tree. And I just heard Bryce.
It's a pastime. That's what he does for fun.
I just heard Bryce's reactions like, in the booth. And for some reason, that just set me off. I just started cracking up in the booth. It was the funniest thing ever because Tanjiro is like supposed to have some serious speech, and he's like talking to Nezuko, and like, okay, like we gotta like get down and like Inosuke's just in the background.
They
like,
left him in?
Yeah.
Yes. I love that.
Yeah.
The was actually him trying to get the poster all the way up on the door.
Oh, I get it. A vertically challenged joke. Okay. I've had people come up and go, I thought you'd be taller. And I'm like, you know what? But I sound like I'm tall, so that's all that matters.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm so nervous for no reason, but both of you are so iconic. I love the both of you like so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have two quick questions for Zach. You voice Aether in Genshin Impact, but you also have like a little like small amount of voice lines like throughout the whole entire game. What was like the process of like voicing Aether and like the time range for when you like had to voice him?
Oh, wow. Yeah. So, I mean, Genshin Impact, we're constantly working on the game, every single update. I could get a call tomorrow and they could say, hey, there's a cutscene and you have 2 grunts. So I go in and I just go like, "Ugh." And then I go home. But it was cool. You know, I do get to voice the lines that he has in the menu, as well as I get to
Yes, I get to do the moon carver.
So
What?
people look out. Yeah, so I don't know if some people know that. I also play the Moon Carver,
No,
the
I didn't.
Adeptus in Genshin. Yeah.
The Deep Lord.
So at least he has lines.
I didn't even know you voiced Moon Carver. I'm already flabbergasted. So the questions for both of you is what character that you wish you had the opportunity to like voice throughout your whole, like what was the character that you wish you had to play?
A character that we wish we could have voiced.
Yes.
What audition do you regret missing out on?
What you see at these events is our successes, like very clearly. Like we literally have banners of all of our roles behind our heads, but what you don't see is the graveyard of auditions that we weren't cast in.
20,000.
Yeah, at least. And that's the job, is being told no over and over and over and over and over. If you book 1 out of 100 auditions, you're doing very well. So I try not to fall in love with characters until they're like truly out in the world and announced, because there's so many moments where even if you think you have a job, you won't do it or no one will know. Like, I've been called back many times. That's where like they're starting to narrow things down. I've seen producers many times. I've been cast in projects where we record episodes 1, 2, and 3 and receive scripts for 13 episodes, and then the show never goes. Those are heartbreaking too. So I try not to kind of call my shots. I try not to choose roles before I really get cast. But I would love to do something that's new, that's like SpongeBob SquarePants. Like, just, a show like that that's so lighthearted and fun and, original animation, recording with an entire cast. Whatever that is, I hope that's in the future for me.
How about this version of the question? If they were going to remake any anime that came out before the year 2000, and they were doing a remake of the anime, like they did Sailor Moon Crystal, like they've done Dragon Ball recently, who from one of those early animes would you want to voice?
Wow, I mean, I wouldn't want to take anyone's role over. That's the thing. They cast in a specific way, not just because you're the character, but you add to the ensemble. So I wouldn't want to take anyone's role. I would love to be in Dragon Ball in some way. I know, like, they got you, they got Alex. I'm like, you're missing someone. You never know. I've auditioned for those guys many times, but it is so difficult to get cast in any show. So I'll just keep buying lotto tickets.
Just because I was kind of like self-raised on Naruto, I would have loved to be a part of that. That would have been cool.
Thank you guys so much. I love you so much. Oh my God, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi.
So this kind of adds to the question from earlier, but what is your all's favorite scene that you've recorded that you are together in?
That we were together or we weren't together?
Like, just where the characters are together.
The characters are together.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite
I see him
Inosuke
laughing. I think he
Manjiro
does.
moment?
This is the face of someone who has an answer and isn't sure if they're going to say it or not.
Oh wow. There's been a lot of good moments. We've even had some fight scenes where, like, I don't know, like I'm dying, you're dying, like, no, you're like, Inosuke, you're like, yeah, Ganpachiro.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Really, it just comes back to that one scene every single time, like the Ganpachiro scene.
Oh, yeah, it's so good.
I mean, it's just iconic at this point, even though it's overdone. But it's just.
I return to that one a lot. I really like it. I also like, and we probably won't do this today. You're crazy for doing this at another event.
Oh,
the one where
yes.
they're all screaming at the
Entertainment
end
District.
of Entertainment District.
Yeah.
They get to this
That was a
one
good
point
one.
where they're all the 3 of them are attacking at one time, and we let out the biggest scream ever. It just goes on for so long. I think that's a cool moment. Like, their faces are all distorted. There's like blood coming out of Inosuke's nose. Like, it's just gnarly.
That was epic. I remember, You know what's what ends up kind of being a recurring thing for me is like at the end of every season of Demon Slayer, like my voice is shot. Like I am on the brink of death. Like I remember when we
That's every season of Demon Slayer.
Yeah, it tracks.
for the entertainment district, I remember once we finished up that scene, I went straight home into bed and I slept for like, I'm not even kidding, like 15 hours. Like I was so tired. It was intense. But yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, it's a workout in there. I definitely leave just like drenched in sweat from all the screaming that Inosuke does. It's good times.
Thank you.
Hello, I hope you all are doing good today. Do you all do like a little snippet, like a couple seconds of a voice acting request?
Do we have a what now?
Do you do like snippets of like a little voice acting request? Like I was wondering if you guys could like, what if both Tanjiro and Inosuke were playing a video game and Inosuke was losing? I was wondering if I could like see how that turns out, but if you don't want to do that, that's fine.
So you mean real life?
Yeah.
Every time we've played video
I was
games
gonna
together,
say,
I would lose.
I was gonna say check out that video on YouTube of me of
You
Bryce being
absolutely
like, "Fight
dominating me."
and
Yeah, I was also wondering if like you could do like a little voice acting like here as Inosuke and Tanjiro like Inosuke's losing and then Tanjiro's like, you just got to be good at the game or something. I was wondering if you do those requests.
Sure. Is that okay with you? Yeah. All right, let's go, Manjiro.
Okay, Inosuke, let's do this.
Wait, how do I hold this thing again? Why are you holding it the wrong... oh, mine's upside down. Okay,
Inosuke,
here we go.
Inosuke, why are you losing?
This is not working. Mine's not... Wait, there's no wire on this thing. How is it even doing the thing?
Inosuke, Inosuke, it's because you chewed off the wire.
You're not supposed to do that? Give me a new one of these. Okay, here, this is it. It's working now.
All right, to give you some insight on being an older sibling, this is the older sibling, this is the younger sibling
Oh,
that
yeah.
you give them the controller that's unplugged.
That's my little brother playing Apex.
It says flawless victory, and my guy's on the ground. What does that mean?
Thank you all
you so
so much. Thank you.
I'm just thinking of this happening and suddenly I realize this is like the best and most entertaining dynamic I think ever. Like Tanjiro is just here to help Inosuke, and Inosuke is just like violent and clueless. Yeah. And he's like, don't worry, we could do it like positivity.
Move over, Game Grumps.
Okay, so hello, Hope Boy Nagito. Hello, Gonpachiro
Real quick,
Kamaboko.
please, just give me 1 second, guys. Let's keep the scenes out. We're gonna have to try to get through as many questions as possible before the panel ends. Okay? Thank you.
We'll do
Yes.
our best. We
Okay.
talk a lot.
Oh my God. So basically, I kind of have like two questions for both of you. It's kind of so I want to know you guys' favorite Hashiras and your favorite demons.
Favorite Hashira for me is Tengen.
Oh, and Flashy Man.
Flashy, fancy.
Flamboyant.
And my favorite demon is Akaza.
Yes. Yes.
So I have not read the manga. I've avoided
Oh, dang.
spoilers. So I feel like every season and every episode, you kind of learn more about the Hashira and learn more about the demons and their backstories. And I think it's part of what makes this show so special. So I'm not sure yet. I'm really bad at picking favorites. Right now, I'm going to go with Akaza
Yeah.
and Oh Bug Eyes. Rengoku.
Okay. Wonderful. Goodbye, Nagito Komaeda and Gonpachiro.
Hi. I just wanted to ask, what are y'all's favorite voice lines from any animes or video games that you guys have been in?
Wow. I mean, you're opening it up to such a broad spectrum of things.
Wow. I know. I've never. Oh wow. It's a lot to think about.
And when you take the rails off, it starts to get kind of crazy in there.
Favorite Genshin line?
There you go.
Windblade! Hooah!
Wow. I'm just going to go with, I guess, something that's pretty relevant because they just announced that this is coming. The final episode of Attack on Titan. I think if the internet isn't lying to me, January 6th, it's coming to Toonami. And January 7th, it's going to streaming. So if you've read the manga or watched the show, you can cry all over again. It'll be great. It's very appropriate for Attack on Titan. But I'll do one of my favorite lines from Attack on Titan. Go back to season 1. The first time Aaron's different, a little bit bigger. He punts this little baby Titan, and then he's stepping on this other Titan's neck, and he goes, get up, let me kill you again, and again, and again. I like that one.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you guys have favorite characters that you've voiced?
Favorite characters that we voice? I'm really bad at this question. I feel like you work so hard to get cast in any show. All your characters become a part of you, like your kids that live in your head. And a lot of my kids are crazy, and I don't want them to fight. So I just stay out of this one.
That's fair. You get one pass.
Yeah. Thank you.
It is hard to pick a favorite. I mean, there's so many. Every experience is so different. You work with an entirely, new crew of people, and the character and the writing. I mean, yeah, it's tough.
Yeah. Any day we get to step into the booth is a great day.
Thank you.
Hi. So, have any of you guys watched Chainsaw Man? And if so, who are your favorite characters?
I have not watched Chainsaw Man yet. It's one of those shows that's in the queue that I'm very interested in. I have met Ryan a handful of times, and I know he's a big fan of coffee as well. I was actually texting him recently man, we should grab some coffee. So, yeah, but I'm not sure yet. I haven't watched the show, but I can tell you that Ryan is a really solid guy, and I love when someone does call their shot. You could really tell that he's passionate about the show and the role, and he really wanted that role, and it always makes me so happy when that lines up.
Yeah, Ryan, who plays Chainsaw Man, he killed it. I mean, it was awesome. I did watch the first episode. I haven't seen anything really past that. I have seen YouTube videos about further things that happen in the show. Just, I watch stuff sometimes just out of curiosity. But yeah, I don't know. How can you not love Pochita? My little baby. Pochita!
Okay, wait. You invited him for coffee. Was it the sludge coffee? Because I think that tracks for both characters.
It might be. I think he likes deliciously well-made coffee, so I'm going to ask him where he gets his coffee.
Okay.
And then I'll go and order sludge coffee at that place.
And then Inosuke is going to have a chainsaw coming out of his forehead.
Sounds good.
Thank you for your
He'd
question.
love that.
Like he needed more violent things.
Okay, so I want to ask, what is your favorite scene that you did in Sword Art Online?
My favorite scene from SAO. I mean, it's so tough. We're talking about over a decade of time in the booth as Kirito. I answer this one by naming a million scenes. I guess first off, some of my favorite moments are between Kirito and Asuna. I try to find something I can connect with every single character, and for me, all of the lines to Asuna are I'm talking to my wife, and I hope that they come through as authentic. And actually, in those scenes in the cabin where they're falling in love, Shermie and I had never met as we were recording those scenes. We kind of just passed by each other and we're just hey, hi, nice to meet you. And we've become really good friends since because of the series. But Shermie has actually become better friends with my wife, and it's not fair at all. They hang out all the time, and I want to hang out with them. It's not fair.
I also have one more question. What were your first thoughts whenever you found out that Rengoku was gonna die?
Sorry,
One more time.
Get that
A
microphone.
little closer to the mic. yeah.
What was your first thoughts whenever you first found out that Rengoku was gonna die?
I still didn't hear
When you
Sorry.
first found out, hang on, that's not a spoiler, is it?
No,
Don't spoil
okay,
anything.
okay,
I still
okay.
couldn't hear you.
Okay.
It had already happened.
Oh, okay. Something. When you found out that who was gonna die?
What were your first thoughts when you found out that Rengoku was gonna die?
Oh, Rengoku. I had the ugliest cry similar to Inosuke. I loved watching Mugen Train in the movie theater because you could kind of like feel the entire audience just like getting misty and just like, you know, breaking down, and then Inosuke would show up and everyone's like cheered up again. Like I just love that.
Our director, Steve Staley, he's a very kind of like, all right, good job, moving on. Very like, you know, we're getting it done. And this is the first time I've ever heard Steve. I've ever heard the director. I was working on the movie from my house, so I didn't get to see him, but I could hear him. And once we finished that scene with Rengoku, they played it back, and I just heard this. Moving on.
Excellent. Great question. Thank you.
Hello, my name's Naba. I have 2 questions for you. Which Hashira would you rather fight?
Now we gotta fight the Hashira?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
The fart Hashira. The one that comes in at the very end of the Demon Slayer manga. The very, very end.
I don't want to fight any of them.
I know.
You have to.
We have to?
You have to. Life or death situation, you have to.
Death.
It's not gonna go well.
I'm like
It'll
thinking
pass.
hard. Yeah. Like a
Thanks.
fart.
Thanks for that.
It'll pass like a fart.
Okay. My second question is, would you go on a car ride with all your characters?
Ooh. I mean, I could survive that, yeah. I don't know about you though,
could.
buddy.
Can I choose who comes in the car with me?
All of them. All of them.
They all have to come in the car?
It's a bus. It's a
I could
bus.
just like hand select a few of them. Like I could choose.
Nope.
I don't know.
It's
if you
a
guys
bus.
know
They're
this,
all
but
going on.
I play a character called Sultan in Disney Princess Palace Pets. He's Jasmine's tiger, and in the game, all you do is you brush his hair and give him a bath. Like I'd go on a road trip with Sultan.
You
like
have to.
I want that guy to hang
Okay,
out with
would
me.
you drive him to the vet though?
What?
Would you drive him to the vet though?
Oh, he's sick. No.
New lore just dropped.
Oh no! Like I'd hang out with him even if I have to drive him to the vet. Okay, but it was a road trip, so get a baby tiger in the front. That would be awesome. Like I'd hang out with Maso Mikita. That guy sounds fun. But yeah, if we got like Inosuke and Eren and Rino Kumura in the car,
What car?
yeah, the car would be gone.
It's a bus.
That's
like-
like this entire time, I've just been sitting here like, yeah, I think a lot of my characters get along. And then I think about Bryce's characters, and I'm like, they'd probably all kill each other.
Yeah.
All right, we are going to
Thank
have to
you,
wrap
thank
up.
you.
I'm so sorry to everyone that we did not get to. I'm so sorry. We are going to end with one final question. This one's mine.
Okay.
All right.
Hey, and by the way, after this, we're both going back to our tables. And if you didn't get to ask a question, which sorry guys, please come find us in the dealer's hall. Ask us there. We're happy to meet you and respond. Yeah.
All right, final question. Final question. And
All right.
you get 15 seconds to deliberate. Out of all of your characters for each of you, which one of yours would win in a fight?
You want them to fight in my head? This will end with me not being able to speak.
You
Look,
just get the sludge coffee. You'll get it.
I have no idea because I haven't looked forward in many of the shows. And I know that many of my characters are overpowered. If it's inside a video game, That's different also.
Yeah, if they're all the Street Fighter, right?
Okay.
Bryce Papenbrook edition.
All right, here we go. Love it.
Who would win in a Street Fighter tournament?
But they can be like at their highest level. Well, Kirito has God mode running, so he doesn't take any damage. His bar never goes down. He just keeps recovering.
Until Aaron eats him.
He'd still be recovering inside his stomach. He'd just be hanging out in there gaming inside his stomach. So yeah, I think if it's inside a game and Kirito has God mode running, he's gonna win. Outside the game, Kirito loses first. But outside of that, I mean, I have no idea who's gonna win this fight. Everyone is overpowered and yelling.
If you're gonna be typecast, you know?
Yeah, I'll take it.
All right, Zach?
Tanjiro Kamado, the best boy. Hooah! For Nezuko.
All right, thanks everybody so much for coming in. Again, please stop by the dealer room, come see these guys, ask your questions, get some autographs. Thank you so much, Yama-Con. We will see you again soon.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for coming, guys.